Ahoy, shipmates. How's it going? I hope the audio's loud enough. Logitech updated my software today and it was being a bit weird. Hence, I was going to say hence the delay, but I'm always late, aren't I? It doesn't matter. Um, all right. Hope everyone's doing all right. Everyone's in. Yeah. Now then, two-tone. Kate, hello. Professor Andy, Tic Tac, Alan. Whiskey Straight. Al, how you doing? Right. That's enough Oxbridge pleasantries for one day. Everyone's weekend, all right? Yeah? Evan, how you doing? The late Matthew Taylor. Yeah, he is. I'll tell you what, to start off today, if I can just talk about pointless, trivial things for a moment. Every single medium of entertainment now is dog shit. I'm going to try and get around to doing it today or tomorrow to do another review, right? I haven't done one since the woeful Captain America and the Falcon, or whatever it was bloody called. The Winter Soldier and the Falcon, which was chronic. Like, it seems as if the people that are directing and writing these things nowadays have never seen a TV program. Like, they don't know how to write normal people, where you'll sit there at home and you'll identify with the character and go, oh yeah, you know, I want to be a part of this fucking, like, the Wheel of Time stuff. I know there's not too many in my channel because it's obviously mainly politics and news, but that are really into fantasy sort of stuff. But it's criminally bad. Like, they've basically turned one of the primary characters in that decades-spanning saga into another Mary Sue, like Rey from the new Star Wars movies. Just the same old shit. Like, nobody ever has to try to do anything. There's no like struggle. It's just Mary Sue, ethnic, obviously. Which does affect the story in the Wheel of Time saga. Because, like I said, though every race is represented in the Wheel of Time books. Every race is represented. They all have their own little land, their own region of the earth that they come from. And if you just make a mishmash and everybody lives in the same little village, it totally ruins the escapism that fans of fantasy want to get into. Totally ruins it. So this little village, what used to be the ancient people of Manetheren, you know, it looks like the London subway now. You know, every character there in that little region is white in the books. And then there's the people across the sea, and they're all black. And then there's the other people where Lan, he's one of the wardens where he's from, and they're clearly Asian. And the really weird thing is, when they cast people from everywhere else, they're always what they're supposed to be. So Lan was always going to be Asian, and the casting for Lan is good because he's Asian. But Two Rivers, where they're all meant to be the white dudes, it looks like fucking. It looks like it's like the Cosby Show. It's just everyone there's black, and I'm like, they don't mix with each other until the events of the story unfold. And if you just throw everybody in there because you woke and you're desperate to make it look like a London bus in 2021, it destroys the feeling of immersion that fantasy readers love and watchers, which is why The Lord of the Rings was so highly vaunted, because it actually followed the fucking novels. It's not like you have to do anything difficult. Just do what they've already written. Do you know what I mean? They can't even manage that now. If they made Game of Thrones now, the first few seasons, which were actually good because they just followed the books, the talentless hacks just followed the books. If they made it now, it wouldn't make any sense. It'd be awful because now they're too woke. It's woeful. And yes, whoever's just said that, Hawkeye, my God. Like I said, I don't watch much television, but I exercise every day. And what I do is, like, I try and do an hour on my rowing machine every day. Because rowing is fucking borstal, by the way. If anyone's ever been on a Concept 2, that is hard. Like, forcing yourself to sit through 10,000 meters on a rowing machine is hard work. So what I do is I typically put something on the telly then and watch it. And I've been desperately looking for stuff to watch. that isn't total dog shit. And I can't do it. I got 5 episodes into The Wheel of Time. I can't go on anymore. They should have just called it large groups of multi-ethnic people crying. That's what's it's supposed to be like tough people. Nynaeve's meant to be a strong as fuck woman. She is in the books. All she does in this is cry. It's like the woke don't want people to be in denial of their feelings because they're all like recalcitrant children. So everyone in it's like overly emotional. It's just a bunch of people sobbing. And then I watched Hawkeye this morning on my rowing machine. Sat through the first episode of that. It's just, I can actually little segue this into the story that I was going to talk about from my last BBC Spews, which was, did everybody watch it and see the story about the total collapse of the family? How I ended on sort of a high note and said, listen, if you've ruined your relationship with your mother or your father or both because of woke politics, walk it back from the brink. Like back in the day, nobody agreed with the parents. Back in the day, everyone was a lefty when they were 20. You know, join the club. You're not doing anything new or unique. Everyone's a lefty when they're 20. And everybody's dad is a miserable old bastard and a conservative. That's called life. It's called growing up. So this isn't new. It's old. It's gone on for fucking generations. It's probably gone on since ancient Rome, ancient Greece are probably the same. The kids were all little bastards, and the parents are like boring conservatives who say just do things that you know work, value tradition, stick with your family, that type of thing. Matthew C. Fall's a rarity if he's always been a conservative. Obviously a wise man, doubly so because he watches me. But what is new, which I talked about on the weekend, is the idea that because the politics has consumed them, because they're all ideologues, that you can't not attack everybody you know if they disagree with you politically. That's what's new. We used to just joke about our parents being conservative when I was a kid. Oh, you know what dad's like? You know, it's like student Grant. You know, oh, I don't want turkey for Christmas. It's cruel. I want a nut cutlet. And then it's like, yeah, man, you old squares don't know nothing, bro. You know, that's always been a thing. But it hasn't always been a thing that if you disagree with your mother and father, you should cut them off completely. You should hate them because you have to stand against the tyrants. Like, that's a new thing. That's the personalist political, that's AOC, that's modern leftist activists. If someone, that's everybody's favourite, Maxine Waters over in the United States. If you see someone being conservative, if you see someone disagreeing with your fucked up communist ideology, you have to get them. You have to harass them at the gas stations, get in their face. Remember that video she made? You stop them, you tackle them in public, you get them in restaurants, you get them at the gas station, you get them in the supermarket. That's what's new. And that's why the families are collapsing. Because now they can't accept the fact that they don't know everything when they're 19. Now you have to attack your parents. You have to get in the face. You have to fucking cut, what was it, 1 in 5, it said, considering divorcing the parents. And you think that's a good idea? Completely cutting yourself off from your family? Lunacy. And that's what they've done on that Hawkeye. When I was watching Hawkeye, I was amazed at how sentimental and schmaltzy all of the family scenes were. Did anyone notice that? If anyone's unfortunate enough to watch the first episode, it was like every 2 minutes he was kissing his son or putting his arm around his daughter, and they're all going, oh, I love you, man. I love you, daddy. I love you, mommy. Every 10 seconds, a fucking phone call. Oh, I love you, honey. And I love you, darling. I love you more than anything. It made me want to fucking retch. And because that's what's happening. They know that the world's falling to pieces around them. And they think, as long as we just live in a fucking fairy story in our popular culture entertainment, then we can just deny it's happening. So you're all divorcing your parents. Kids are all mentally ill and fucked up and they don't talk to their own mother and father. But as long as we just get Hawkeye to do it, Everyone will think it's A-OK. No, it won't be A-OK. If you've totally ruined your relationship with your mother and father, you're fucking going to be miserable. And no amount of dog shit, commie indoctrination via the medium of fucking comic book TV shows and movies is going to make you feel any better. These people are important to you. Your family is important to you. At least Chris Cuomo, slimy shitbag that he is, knew that your family's important to you. These kids now, they seem to think it doesn't even matter. You don't need mothers and fathers. Fuck them. Well, yeah, you do. You do, especially for the first fucking 15 years of your life, but even longer than that. Because if you think you know everything when you're 19, and we all do it, right? I thought I knew fucking everything when I was 19. And your dad tells you stuff and you go, what does he know? What does the old man know? And all of a sudden, you get to about 33 and you make the wrong decisions your whole youth. And you get to about 33 and you go, fuck me, the old bastard was right about everything. It's a hard truth to stumble upon, but that's wisdom. It's a wisdom that only comes with age. And how many times have I told you guys that? If you're having a life crisis, if you find a lump on your gonads, your wife leaves you, and you lose your job all in the same day, who do you turn to for advice and emotional support? Do you ring your mother or your father, or your grandma, your granddad? Or do you go, you know what? I'm going to call my 16-year-old niece for advice. She'll be fucking useful. Give your head a shake. You don't know shit when you're 18, which is why it makes me laugh on all these lefty twats, because they can't win elections. Like the SNP, communists. The SNP can't get the fucking independence that they want. They can't get it because every year you age, you're less and less likely to be a shit-for-brains lefty. So they want to change all the rules. Oh, I know. Let's have another referendum. If we lose one, let's have another referendum. Let's have a people's referendum. Well, we've already had that. It was called the fucking referendum, you snakes. But because they can't get what they want to change the rules. Oh, we can't win. Oh, we'll just have another vote then. Oh, well, we'll change the rules then. We can't win with all the 18-year-olds voting. Let's make it 16. Let's make it 14. Because they know they can get them when they're in school. The SNP have famously ruined education in Scotland. I've read stories around the bazaars. I read one in the Scotsman, and I read a piece in the Telegraph that said basically, in the last 10 years, the Scots, the SNP, commie fucks that they are, have completely decimated the Scottish education system. And the history they teach north of Hadrian's Wall is proper, full-blown propaganda. It's literally hatred, spewing hatred, everything that's ever gone wrong in the world, it's the English, which anyone who knows history will tell you that some of the worst administered colonies in the fucking British Empire were the Scottish ones. Because the jocks have ever been a covetous fucking people. They're shit with money, but they don't like spending it. And no, we didn't invade Scotland. That's not why the British Empire existed. Scotland, as Robbie Burns said, was bought and sold for English gold because shit-for-brains Scottish administrators, probably people just like Nicola fucking Sturgeon, set up a colony that went bankrupt and they had no bastard money because they put 50% of the national wealth into it. So as usual, the English had to fucking bail them out. That's why there's a British state in the first place. We didn't invade Scotland in 1950. Which again, for any Irish Americans watching, that didn't happen either. The Irish problem was a problem 1,000 years in the making. 1,000 years in the making. People talk about the plantation of Ulster between 1607 and 1609. That wasn't even the beginning of it. That was 1,000 years in the making, that problem. The English didn't invade Ireland in 1935, you fucking morons. These are complex problems that people want to pretend are easy things to discuss because it'll make them feel better about their bullshit ideology. And people need to get their heads around this stuff. Real life is complicated. You can't just sum things up with a series of sound bites. So the Scots are brainwashing kids, telling them that everything wrong with the world is the English, as if we haven't been interbreeding for 1,000 years and the English are somehow different to them. As if it's not just 60 million people that want to raise the kids and be left in peace and fucking live a happy life and then die. No, it's the difference somehow. The English, there's something wrong with them. They don't want to raise happy children and live long lives. No, they want to burn down orphanages and rape babies. It's lunacy, the hatred that the SNP preach. So they know they can't win, because everyone who grows up every year, you're less and less likely to support shit for brains, hateful communists. So they want to change the rules. Okay, we'll just make the next vote 16-year-olds. We'll just make the next vote 14-year-olds. I know. We'll make the next vote is only open to people that have spent the last 3 years in school learning fictional history from your communist fucking tartan-esque overlords. It's bollocks. Anyway, that was a bit of a rant. Still, my head in no lying to kids used to be considered immoral, and now they think it's fucking laudable. So everything's gone to shit. The kids are all mentally ill, and they think they can fix it with TV and brainwashing. Doesn't matter whether it's the SNP in Scotland, AOC and across the pond. Holy shit. I mean, has everybody seen AOC's latest one? Fuck me. AOC. Let me just see if I can find this quickly and put it on. I'm segueing. It's probably not going to be on. It's probably not going to be on the BBC. I have to do it. Here we are. I'll come back to Thomas Massie. Here we go. So, you mean something's going on? Tucker, what have you done? I wonder why it's not letting me share that one. All right, let me try again. God damn it. But yeah, absolute lunacy. And Alfred, don't start me on Braveheart, please. It's the greatest work of fiction since fucking Lord of the Rings, that. It's absolute lunacy. Here it is. It worked. So.
Meet your next pillow.
Braveheart, I reckon
Why
he was.
Why do we make our pillow in the shape of a cube?
I'll
tell you.
I got audio coming on.
The problem with pillows is that you're trying to fit a round peg.
Is unable of doing anything without spamming me with adverts. So, AOC, being a typical communist, goes on national television and denies the existence of smash and grab robberies. And I'm sure I don't need to show any of you the smash and grab robberies. Like, you've seen them all over Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Massive gangs of swarthy young men descending on high-value jewellery stores with hammers and smashing the shit out of everything and running away with them. And AOC just says, nah, it's a right-wing talking point. It's nonsense. The only time I've ever seen her talking about looting is I seen her on TV actually saying, they're stealing bread, in that really annoying sort of whiny, talking to an 8-year-old voice that she does. Like that, with the big googly eyes. They're not stealing to just spend it. They're stealing bread. They're stealing bread. They're stealing Rolexes, you big, goofy, sheep-toothed fucking degenerate, communist fucking Jezebel. They're stealing Rolexes, and you can't eat diamonds. You fucking moron. I mean, Jesus wept. So AOC's living in a fantasy land. And look, let's have a look at the story. A lot of these allegations of organised retail theft are not actually panning out. Not actually panning out. Tell that to the big mob of hairy-ass blokes with sledgehammers. You boss-eyed, chompy fucking creature. AOC slammed by Republicans and business leaders following an interview where she cast doubt on whether rampant smash and grabs are actually occurring. Don't leave your eyes. Don't believe your own eyes and ears. Listen to fucking Chomper. She said, a lot of these allegations of organised retail theft are not actually panning out. Yeah, just fucking watched it with my own eyes. Apparently they're not panning out. I believe it's Walgreens in California, but the data didn't back it up. The data. I've just seen a bloke with a sledgehammer, you fucking dippy mare. What do you mean, data? What data? You think I need to wheel Stephen Hawkins in, get him to plug into something? Data. She has got the IQ of a fucking pork pie, that silly fucking mare. I do not understand how anyone, especially after she chased Amazon off, if you're one of the 20,000 people who was going to get a job at Amazon with good pay and benefits, and she just stitched it up, why would you even tolerate job in charge of your city or your state? It fucking does my head in. It says the comments spark pushback from retail leaders and Republican lawmakers, including Walgreens. Organised retail crime is one of the top challenges facing the company. They told the Washington Times the crime has evolved beyond shoplifting and petty theft to the sale of stolen and counterfeit goods online. There's pictures of a lot of kids targeting an Apple store in Santa Rosa. Oh, yeah, because you can eat iPhones, can't you? Well, she probably could. She can eat an apple through a fucking tennis racket. She could probably chow down on an iPhone, maybe take some calorific intake from silicon. But most of us, no, they're robbing. They're opportunistic scum who are all well-fed and well-clothed. They are stealing because they are opportunistic thieves being afforded the ability to do so because of weak, limp-wristed, left-wing / communist fucking activists that somehow have found themselves in positions of authority. That's what's going on. I don't know what she's talking about, said an Illinois Republican. You don't need much data from someplace in San Francisco or California. All you got to do is walk down the street. Yeah, all you have to do. Jim Banks said her comments were tone deaf and offensive. Okay, well, I don't like you talking about offensive. Yeah, we're all offended. To the family of Alton security guard Kevin Nishita, San Jose police officer was shot and killed in November defending a news crew reporting on a smash and grab crime. They don't care about ethnic minorities when they get killed by lefties, do they? Didn't really hear about him very much. Respectfully, the Congresswoman has no idea what she is talking about. Yeah, respectful. Why do you have to be respectful? She's a fucking idiot. And so's this rubber-faced narcissist, Patrick Bateman-looking fucker. And he won again. So you've got to ask, what's going through the heads of voters in California? And again, it makes me think that there is a conspiracy theory to be had because every person I meet in common parlance around the bazaars out here hates the guy. I've never met anyone who's gone, you know what, he's a fucking good lad, that Gavin Newsom. So don't tell, I honestly do not see how they're not cheating. Lunacy. So, yeah, look, there's another one. Yeah, the pinching bread. Very thin, hard, white, sort of diamond-looking bread. Do they look malnourished? Does that guy look like he's keeling over from dysentery as he takes 60 swings at reinforced glass with a lump hammer because he wants to rob some high-value jewellery? People are fucking deranged. Anyway, right, let's get away from that. It's supposed to be the BBC Spews, not the Fox News Spews. And I just don't know how people can be so deluded. How you think that when the world's falling to pieces around you in 2021, you still think the same plays are going to work? Politicians, like, yeah, it would have worked in the 18th century. Or then, well, in fact, it would have worked in the early 1900s, wouldn't it? Because you just had to communicate via telegram. When we got the telephone, it didn't even change the world, not really. But now everyone's got a cell phone on them. Everyone's got a cell phone. You see something like that going on, you take the video, and it's worldwide within 5 minutes of it happening. But politicians still think they can just spew total fiction in complete opposite of reality. And they still think they can get away with it. That's why Joe Biden, when he went to that, do you remember when Joe Biden went to that factory? Oh yeah, sorry, Blue Van, mobile phone. I've been in America too long. Cell phone, mobile phone. Get your fucking everyone's got a mobile. So it's not rocket science. And then Joe Biden goes to a factory and there's a young lad says to him, "You said you're going to take our guns," and he's like, "I didn't say I was going to take your guns." Doing his fake outrage, cranky old fucking geriatric piss your pants, wouldn't let him run a lemonade stand in my front garden president that he is. And he says to him, "I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You're lying. You're talking nonsense." So the kid goes, "Oh yeah," gets his phone out. 20 seconds later, there you go. What's on that? And it's him 2 days earlier at a rally saying, "Yeah, we're going to take your guns. Yeah, we're going to take your guns." And he's going to do it. Putting his arm around Beto O'Rourke. "Yeah, we're going to take the guns," and he's going to do it. Yeah, woo. And then this thick twat thinks he can go across 2 states across a couple of days later and deny it ever happened. You can't make it up. That's how thick they are. They think you're an idiot. They think they can just fully lie to your face. Not just lie to your face, get outraged when you call them a liar, which is what they are, a liar. At least in the old days, being a liar was actually thought to be something hurtful, something you had to be ashamed of. These people don't give a monkey's fart if they get caught in the act. Kamala Harris, she's about as honest as a Chinese Rolex. You couldn't believe her radio. She couldn't lie straight in bed. Well, she doesn't do it in bed. She typically shoes off pensioners in their offices. That's how she got into politics in the first place. But they just lie blatantly when you've seen the video. So AOC, that's what she thinks. She can just go on telly and just say whatever she wants. And the general public are not going to go, "Yeah, but I've got eyes and I've seen it on me mobile phone, like literally 10 minutes ago." They can be talking. You can fucking do it while they're sat in front of you. AOC, it's not happening. It's not happening. Hey, Google. Are people smashing this shit out of fucking jewelry stores and nicking everything? Oh, look, there's a video on Twitter. Done. But for some reason, these fucking idiots still think they can get away with it. It baffles me. Anyway, right, well, we'll do at least one BBC News story a day. This is what I liked. US and Canada, BBC News. Thomas Massie, US congressman, condemned for Christmas guns photo. Right? I will say, the Englishman in me has no time for overly sentimental American-style Christmas cards. Out here, people send you a Christmas card that's personalised and they're all on the front like that, going like, and it's Chad as your dad. I'm not really into it. However, if the issue was, look how Chad this Christmas card is, hey, I could be in full agreement with you. Just send them a fucking card with a snowman on the front or a robin or some shit like that. That's what I like for Christmas. I don't want to see this fucking Chad picture of the whole family in Christmas jumpers, right? Just send them a picture of a red robin in some snow. Merry Christmas, you cunt. See you later. No need to kick the ass out of it. But their issue isn't with the Chad photo. Their issue is the fact that they're all doing something which is legal in the United States and has been since the founding of the country. So what's the problem? This fake outrage, you'd think he was like fisting a 12-year-old on the front of his Christmas card. Merry Christmas. That's not happening. They're just standing there with guns, which is perfectly legal and always has been. The US congressman has faced a barrage of criticism from communists. Put that in, BBC. I'll do it for you. The US congressman has faced a barrage of criticism from lefty arseholes after he posted a Christmas photograph of his family posing with military-style rifles just days after a deadly school shooting. First of all, this is America. Have you lads not been paying attention? I have to blow this up a bit because StreamYard, it doesn't let me have a nice big... There we go. How's that? Yeah, that's better. First of all, this is America. Have you not been paying attention? There's a school shooting every bastard week. You can't just... Hang on. I'm not as keen on these windows on this bastard program. Okay, that's not terrible. So, this is America. There's a school shooting every week. If you didn't take a photo with a gun every time someone shot up a school, no fucker would ever take a photo. It says Kentucky's Republican representative Thomas Massie tweeted the photo with the caption, "Merry Christmas, P.S. Santa, please bring ammo." Fair one. It's a quip. As the post has been condemned by a host of families affected by gun violence, plus figures on both sides of politics. He's been contacted for comment. In the wake of the controversy, he retweeted messages of support and those criticising him, directly engaging with several Twitter users who said he was tone deaf. Yeah, but why does he care what the people who are not going to vote for him have to say? Twitter has got this weird, fake importance to politicians. The Conservatives in England are classic candidates for this. They think Twitter is real life, and the people attacking them will never, ever vote. There we go. That's an apt T-shirt for today, isn't it? My mother-in-law got me that for I think it was for my birthday. Land of the free. Oh no, it was when I got my citizenship. That was when I got it. The Conservatives in England are total fucking morons, which is why the vote share is slipping. People are going to reform. Because the Conservatives think that Twitter is real life, and they think because any time they post anything that's remotely conservative on Twitter, they get panned by left-wing activists. They think, shit, we need to be more woke. That's what the people want. The people want us to be woke. They don't. Boris, you stupid, spineless, saggy albino jellyfish. They don't. They voted for a Conservative. They voted for a Conservative who never shut the fuck up about Winston Churchill. They voted for a Conservative who promised he was going to wrestle back control from the EU and stand for conservative values. Have you read the Conservative Manifesto? Nothing in there about being a communist. But the Conservatives go on Twitter and they think Twitter's real life. So every time they say something, you get a load of radical leftists on Twitter, have a go. And these thick bastards, again, light as a Candyman's balloon, Boris Johnson, him and his cabinet see left-wing activists having a pop at them on Twitter, and they jump to the erroneous conclusion that the people attacking them on Twitter are the people that actually vote for them. And that's the thing that blows my mind. None of the people who are having a pop at you on Twitter, Mr. Senator, have ever voted Republican, and they never will vote Republican. And it doesn't matter how many bones you throw them, they will never, ever support you, and they'll never, ever vote for you. They think you are a massive, massive chopper. In fact, the communists are the worse than that. They would like to put you in the fucking salt mines and slowly starve you to death. So, wisely, this Mr. Massie here, because he's an American senator, he's not quite as much of a cunt as the Conservatives, the fake woke Conservatives we've got in the UK. He quite rightly is not caring a jot what these people have to say, because he knows they're never going to support him anyway. And if you're a politician, you should be worrying about your voters, your constituents. None of these people have any interest in Mr. Massie. And they're trying to do what they always do and artificially inflate their numbers and influence via the medium of social media. So this guy obviously gets it. One person, one communist, wrote the bar was on the floor, but you managed to tunnel underneath it. The photo was posted days after a school shooting, which left 4 teenagers dead. Yeah, pretty bad, but let's be honest, by American standards, fucking hell, it's like that's like a day at the fair. By American standards, that's not even a major thing. And it was a while back, a few days. What's it got to do with this? What's that got to do with anything? It was the latest in a string of shootings. Yeah, there's a string of them. So we can't stop the world just because there's been another one, can we? The families of students killed in previous shootings have spoken out against the post. Who cares? Who cares? I'm aware that, again, that makes me sound like a prick. But I don't care what these people have to say. I don't care what communist activists on Twitter have to say about anything. And Thomas Massie is completely right to ignore them. Simple. Your YouTube search terms have been Susaned. Everything. Well, who cares? Like I said, who cares? Who cares? I'm stubbornly going to carry on doing this until Zuckertwat himself comes round my house and drags me out with 20 of his minions Because he's not going to do it on his own, the little scrawny fucking soy boy. He'll twist his head clean off. So it's not, it's lunacy. And Doris needs to learn not to listen to Twitter. If I could have one wish for the woke conservatives in the UK, it would simply be that. It would be to start pandering to the people that vote for them and start ignoring the people that don't and never, ever will. Ever. Like, do you honestly think a lefty Labour voter will ever vote for Boris Johnson if he just spends 18 months being a bit more woke? You think they're going to just go, oh, yeah, you know what? Fuck Jeremy Corbyn. I'm a dad in the world conservative. It's not going to happen. So instead of pandering to communists who hate you, who despise you, who would bum carry till their head fell off and then stick you in the salt mines, stop pandering to those people that would destroy you if they could, and start pandering to the people that tick the box next to the word conservative. You fat, saggy fucking mess. Is that too much to ask for? I don't even think that's controversial. He's a conservative prime minister who said he valued Churchill. So what's controversial about what I've just said? He's a conservative prime minister who styled himself after Winston Churchill. And he couldn't bring himself to condemn radical leftists smashing up the Winston Churchill statue. That is how much of a self-serving sack of shit Boris Johnson is. A spineless fucking weasel. Give suck a twat the cheesy chips. Oh, Jimmy Ray's referring to an old story I wrote on Quarry, yeah? When I was accosted whilst eating cheesy chips, and unfortunately I was forced, under an unrelenting assault that I couldn't fully block with one hand, I was forced to ditch the cheesy chips straight into assailant's fucking grid. And they were very, very hot. Molten cheese in the eyebrows. Perfect. So yeah, lunacy. Should we do one more? Is there any more good news on the BBC today? Sheen becomes not-for-profit actor. Why Germany loves school cones. Germany's a fucking basket case at the minute. Sue Key sentenced. Teenager feels very lucky after crocodile attack. Well, I suppose I would. Oh, look. The far right on the BBC. They love crying about the far right on the BBC, don't they? Let's find something. At least, I'll tell you what. I am interested to see what's going on back in Blighty. So let's try and just find the UK news. Ireland to receive 920 million euros for Brexit impact. Well, we all know what that is. You mean Ireland to receive bribe because people are pissed off with the EU? The Irish people know for a fact that all they're doing there is getting their own fucking money back. So you're just bribing them. Brexit. Republic of Ireland's to get 920 million from the European Commission fund designed to mitigate the impact of Brexit. So you're bribing them. You're giving them their own money back. Commission Ireland is the biggest beneficiary and the first state to benefit. And this is just the money printer going brrr. Because where are they getting the money from? See how much debt the EU's in? It's ridiculous. Plus, it's not actually that much money, is it? A few hundred million is fucking small change in this day and age. Brexit has had a negative impact on many people's lives, and it's the people in Ireland who feel it the most. Not the people in Britain, then. Total bollocks. They just contradict themselves with impunity, don't give a shit. Bribery, corruption, nepotism, cronyism. The EU is a toxic fucking edifice. And the people who it did actually affect the most, the British, are stubbornly cracking on. You know why? Because of that famed stiff upper lip. And the European Union has lied and cheated and backstabbed and stolen and fucking sneaked and Ursula von der Scheisse is fucking beating the drums of war, and Austria and Germany are preparing to do what they always do and stomp all over the rights of everybody, throw away all those hard-won lessons from Nuremberg and just start fisting the public once again, grinding them beneath their iron-shod boots in the glorious tradition of Austria's favourite mustachioed one-bollock dictator. It's not looking good for the European Union, and I don't think many years after the Brexit vote, anybody in Britain is looking back wistfully saying, oh, you know what? It was the worst thing we ever did, leave the European Union. Is it? Is it? Maybe if you're a left-wing ideologue, you think it's the worst thing ever. But let me assure you, those of us that were on the fence, Angry Bootneck, as you all know, never voted in that referendum. He was an expat. He thought, yeah, that it's a complex debate. You can make one argument either way. I only turned into Nigel Farage with a hangover 2 weeks after the results came in, and it became clear as day that the scum that run the European Union and the British Parliament had absolutely no interest in doing as they were fucking told in a free and fair referendum. I only turned into the arch Brexiteer after the fact. I didn't vote in the referendum. Hands up, I'll admit it to my Brexiteer followers. The Angry Bootneck didn't vote in the Brexit referendum. He was living in America. He thought, it's not that much to do with me. I probably shouldn't have a say, and it's a complex debate, so I didn't bother. But you best fucking believe I voted 3 years later for the Conservatives when they said they were the only people who'd actually go through with it. So, yeah, that ship has sailed. And if you're still wistfully wishing for the European Union, you don't pay attention. Yeah, Ian, that's what I'm saying. The UK leaves and the Republic of Ireland's most affected. Okay, then. Okay, then. You say that with a straight face. This is a bung. It's a bribe with their own money, and they're hoping this will mitigate the damage when the fallout of their latest fucking round of authoritarian, overbearing legislation starts feeling the pinch, and people are being stomped on with their iron-shod jackboots because they don't want to accede to the vaccine mandate. And again, even that one, it's about principle, isn't it? Because even that one, as you all know, I had to fly back to California in the midst of this shit. So I got 2 jabs, unconcerned about it. I thought, if the worst comes to the worst and I have a fucking stroke, who cares? Because I'm not a man who gives a shit about risk. However, now it's turned into, you will do as you're fucking told, motherfucker. Now, I'm not doing it. What these little petty dictators don't understand is human nature. Because they're not normal people, they're the elites who don't mix with the man in the street. And they don't understand human nature. Like all tyrants, they don't understand human nature. The more you trod on people, the more people dig their heels in. It's why we went all hearts and minds in places like Afghanistan, Northern Ireland. We learned from the lessons of history, the British did, and they learned that the only way to win a conflict like that is to do it with kid gloves, because humans are stubborn creatures, and when you try and brutalize them, they get more and more stubborn about things. And I've gone from, I don't give a fuck about vaccines, I don't care, I'll get one, to fuck you, I'm not doing it. Because as usual, it's the principle of the matter. I'd have been happy to get a booster if it was just get, you probably should get one. But now it's get one or you can't go to the grocery store. Well, fuck you then. Fuck you then. The same stubbornness we apply to Brexit needs to apply here. I'm just not doing it. And if I can't go to the pub and I can't go to the grocery store, fuck you. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll fucking hunt game. I'll eat rat burgers like Demolition Man. I'll live off rain and I'll fucking soldier on. Because I don't do as I'm told when some fucking, especially some creature, these spineless creatures like von der Scheisse who just get where they are through cronyism and nepotism. They don't know anything about normal people. They don't like normal people, but they assume to be able to tell normal people how to live their lives. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I suggest you don't do it either. The more they push, the more I'll dig my fucking heels in. Not happening. Basically, a sea change is coming. You can see it with your own eyes. I've seen it in the last few years. People have had enough. We've had enough. We're being led by donkeys. The lions have had enough of being led by the donkeys. Donkeys don't get to tell lions what to do. And the more you twist my fucking nipples, the bigger my boner gets. I love it. I love antagonizing fucking arseholes. If you're a tyrant, do your worst. The British people didn't bow down when the Nazis were carpet bombing them. They're certainly not going to do it because some stuck-up, preening, posturing fucking bureaucrat from the fatherland, right, is trying to stick a bastard oar in. It's not happening. Shiza porn. It's not happening. Whatever sick shit she's into, got nothing to do with me. So fuck them. And that, I think, is probably a nice place to leave today's stream. Don't let them tell you what to do. Don't do it. If they'd have carried on with the softly approach, talk me into anything. Here's all the data. Yeah, if you're younger, you're all right. But if you're older, you're probably, they both have dangers. You're probably better off getting it. Yeah, you'd have got somewhere with that. But if you're just going to start bullying people and say, no, well, we're not forcing you, except you're not allowed to go outside. We're not forcing you, but you can't fucking eat. We're not forcing you. You might as well get me in a headlock and stick the needle up my ass. So don't even play that game. You think I'm an idiot? Does my head in. So, yeah, fuck them. Steal yourselves, save your money, stay fit, stay focused, and get ready to play the long game. Because fuck them. If we can stand fast against this fucking Third Reich for 5 years, we can certainly hold out against these fucking dipshits. I do not care. I'll stay in, I'll keep fit, I'll read my books in peace, and fuck them all. Because I'm not playing the game anymore. It's not happening. All right, thanks for watching. I'll do another stream tomorrow because I'm not busy tomorrow. So yes, you lucky devils, I'll be back then. And I can apparently invite people on using this platform, right? I was talking to Al about it. Apparently, you just find a link, and people pop up. So yeah, maybe I can invite some people on tomorrow. I might have to introduce some form of vetting procedure for that because I've seen Paz do it. And yeah, I'm concerned that I'll see someone's fucking chopper at some point. I don't want to be on a live stream and the next thing someone's got his fucking balls out in front of the world. So we'll see. I might have to do it via Subscribe Star or something so I can pick people that I think are actually not bad actors. Because I can see me inviting someone on screen and then yoink, I'll just see some like, I don't know, a flaccid penis with a hammer and sickle fucking tattooed on it. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Thanks for watching. Stiff upper lip, boys and girls. You know the drill. Take it easy. See you in a bit.